So in this video, we are going to talk about what happens when you stop chasing an avoidant, an ex, a specific person. And by the end of this video, I don't think you're going to feel like chasing anymore. That period of your life can be over by the end of this video, however long it might be. So before I get into this video, I'd like to remind you that I'm so grateful that you have helped me get to 10k subscribers. So there is a 30% discount on my coaching, my courses and my ebooks. You just have to use the discount code 10k thank you, all in capitals, and that's available until the 31st of December. So I'd love to meet some of you and help you through whatever it is that you're going through, manifest an incredible 2025, change these relationship dynamics, heal that attachment style, whatever it is that you want to do. I would love to support you on your journey. So right, what happens when you stop chasing? The thing is that the chasing comes from a belief that I have to prove that I'm good enough to be loved. I have to do something to be loved. Love doesn't come easily for me. And if I don't do something, then I will be left. All these kind of beliefs run the show. Whenever you're chasing, there's this fear that if I don't do something, well, I'm going to lose this person, and then I have to face these very, very difficult feelings, which are very difficult. There's no denying it. But the thing is that whenever you're in a situation where someone is pulling back and you feel that panic and that urgency to fill the space, and you do fill the space, what you're also doing is missing an opportunity to break a pattern that is creating more and more chasing for you. And you're also missing the opportunity to face and feel and heal whatever it is that is running the show for you, so that you can actually show up differently in your relationships and therefore get a different result. So what I want to suggest to you is that instead of trying to fill that space, that you sit with that discomfort for a little bit longer than normal, and you actually think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to do something differently, and I'm going to show up from I'm enough. I'm going to show up from I am worthy. I don't need to do anything to prove to this person that I'm good enough. That anxiety will be there, especially if you're in a situation where your needs are not being met. So I want to honor that, because sometimes we think, oh, what's wrong with me? My anxiety is speaking and it's me. But actually, the truth is that where someone is being inconsistent, they're not being completely open with you, they're not being honest, whatever it might be, whatever they might be doing that is actually not really working for you, your body will tell you. Your body is literally going to tell you where something actually isn't right for you. So whenever you chase in this situation and you're met with resistance and you're met with vague answers or answers that don't complete the conversation, and then you chase more or you talk more or you try and explain more, you're literally reaffirming a belief that you're not enough. And I want to ask you, where did that come from? Where did you start to believe in your life that you needed to try so hard to be understood, try so hard to be heard, try so hard to get the bare minimum in a relationship? Where did that begin? Because the mirror here in this situation where you feel that you need to chase is that is running the show, and that it needs to change. So when you stop chasing, you actually get to face and feel and heal those difficult feelings that you might have been avoiding by chasing. So essentially, chasing, are you ready for this one, is avoidance. So while we might be thinking they're avoidant, why are they so avoidant? Whatever you're doing to chase is also your avoidance of what's difficult for you to experience and feel and heal and move on from. It is hard. It's really messy, which is why you shouldn't do this alone. You should do this with someone who gets it, at least a friend who's been through something similar, who's walked out the other side of it, because it is messy, confusing, and where your old patterning, neural pathways are very, very strong and you're trying to create something new, that new pathway is very weak and will not feel very strong at the beginning. So you almost need like a power up cheerleader to be like, no, you're doing the right thing. Don't send that text. Don't ask him that question. Don't explain yourself again. You need someone to explain to you. I've got someone like this in my life who I absolutely love. And whenever I've been on the verge of doing something, saying something, explaining myself, sending another message, sending an emotional message about my feelings again to someone who wasn't really ready or willing to receive it, this person has been like, wait a minute, let's just talk about this. What need are you trying to get met here? And so whenever you actually break this pattern, you become stronger. You become in control of your life. You become someone who feels worthy and starts actually embodying that. And as a result, your relationships will change, because when you stop chasing, this has a ripple effect on that person. It's like you've been chasing them and they've been running because you've been chasing them. And when you stop running, they stop running because they're like, oh, I don't need to run anymore, because this person is not chasing me. And their fear becomes less because they're not being chased, or, they don't feel pressured, which, by the way, is not in a dynamic where you feel like you're chasing. It's not great, is it? I mean, we don't want to go from there. We want to be able to be equal partners, and we want to meet someone and be with someone who is willing to face the fear like you are. Okay. So whenever you stop chasing, they stop running, they turn around and get curious eventually. And at first they might not, because they might be like, oh, they're doing that thing again when they've pulled back, and inevitably they'll text me in a few days or weeks, and I don't really need to worry about it. But when you don't, it's like, huh? What's going on here? And so rather than you saying I can be different, you actually are different. Not for them, not for their ass, no, for you. Because you deserve to feel calm. You deserve a regulated nervous system. And that's the other thing. Whenever you stop chasing at first, your stress is going to go up because you're not doing the thing that you have done to soothe your nervous system, which is try to get connection and then get it to get bare minimum response. And then, your anxiety goes down a bit, but inevitably goes up again. At first, when you stop doing that coping mechanism, your anxiety is going to go up because you're going to feel that fear of abandonment. You're going to feel that fear of loss. You're going to feel the fear of rejection. And that's going to feel really uncomfortable. But in time, you will get stronger, calmer, and you'll feel much more calm. You'll feel so much better, and you'll see things so much more clearly, and you'll feel so much calm that you'll think, oh my God, why was I ever chasing? Why was I ever putting myself through that? Your standard for relationship dynamics will be completely different. So the other thing that happens for them when you stop chasing is that it's almost like, those dimmer switches, like wherever you've been going, here, I have all this love for you. I'm ready to be open and to be someone in your life who just sees you as this brilliant potential that you are. And, it's almost like you're a big kind of tannoy noise in the background of their life going, you're loved. I love you. You've always got me. And then it's almost like the light dims down. The more that you stop chasing, it dims down, and suddenly the lights are off. And they're with themselves, and they've got to wonder, hang on a minute, where's that lightness that was there that I was not really appreciating? What do I do? I need to get that back. And they start being curious about what's happened to that light that you were offering them. And they start self-reflecting, because that's all you can do in darkness, isn't it? And they start being with themselves, unless, of course, they've gone on to avoid themselves in another way, which inevitably avoidants do until they're really with themselves, right? So the lights go off and they're with themselves, and inevitably they will be curious about you. But you have to be strong. You can't go back into chasing and explaining and saying, well, I decided to do this and that. You can't do that, because that will inevitably... This is the thing about changing neural pathways, is that when someone stops smoking, that activation for smoking is still there, and they can just have another cigarette and then be a smoker again, And it's the same with our addiction to chasing. And that neural pathway is still there. So if we activate it again, we can go right back to where we started, and we've got to be really, really careful of that. So you've got to be really, really strong with this. It's like an addiction, isn't it? And we're healing. Yeah, you're healing. And it gets easier with time. And sometimes you really miss doing that behavior. But every time you choose to not do it, you get stronger, and that desire for a healthy, loving relationship gets clearer and clearer and clearer, and that's what you end up manifesting. So if that's not the motivation that you need to not chase, I don't know what is. This is an amazing opportunity, being in separation from someone, because you get to start again. You get to rebuild the way that you were living. You get to come from I'm good enough and watch the world change around you. Watch your dynamics in relationships change. Watch the people want to know, what have you done? What's different about you? You seem so much calmer. You seem so much happier. You seem so much lighter. And of course, they will notice that too and wonder, well, how did you do that? You were so stressed before. You were so needy before. And by the way, it's not needy. It's just having normal basic needs. And the reason why you felt needy is because they weren't even meeting you halfway. And so you felt anxious, which is a normal response to not being met, not being seen in a relationship where you want to be vulnerable. Don't you think that's kind of normal? So hopefully now you've watched this video and things make a little bit more sense and you know what to do. And find your cheerleader, find your buddy who can hold you accountable and to keep you on the straight and narrow, back to self-love, back to healing, back to knowing yourself, back to the path that you were on, that you wanted to be on, to create a loving, healthy relationship where both people are seen and loved and feel good enough. Okay? Because you are. That's what it's all about. Finding that. This is what this whole journey is all about. Okay? It's not for them, it's for you. But inevitably, if they're willing, they can get something out of it too. Okay? They can, but they can't unless you stop enabling them, which is, you stop chasing. So I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like some support, you'd like me to hold you accountable, I'd love to help you. There's lots of information about how you can do coaching with me on my website. You can find out all the information in the links below. Don't forget to use the discount code 10K, thank you, all in capitals, for 30% off until the 31st of December 2024. So if you're watching this in December 2025, it's not valid anymore. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.